Uber Eats drivers, how would you like to suffer consequences like this as a result of an email that I received as a customer where they're pushing package deliveries and the graphics are nice? Oh, send an item to a loved one, maybe a packed lunch or a gift like bouquet of flowers. I want you to know Uber Eats leadership continues to place drivers in serious danger, like you and I, from promoting package deliveries like this from the general public. In this video, I'm going to give you multiple examples from the news, and I'll link them in the video description so you can read them on your own later. I'm also going to give you the one big thing that's really going to keep you safe. And no, it's not as easy as just don't take these orders. Also, sadly, you're going to quickly realize how Uber Eats has gained the admiration, trust, and respect of drug traffickers and sex traffickers worldwide. So here are some examples from September of 2022. 6 Uber drivers from the US and Australia suspected they may have been carrying drugs via Uber Connect. The example here is a Chicago driver who found suspected crystal meth in a Band-Aid box. Also, here's a Tampa, Florida driver who discovered crystallized substances in a bag in April, and that was handed over to authorities for testing. One anonymous Southern California driver said, even not knowing, you're still caught holding the bag, and it's not worth $13. A Miami driver noted the pressure to complete deliveries due to customer access to personal details. That is something to remember. Do we choose morality or do we choose our safety? You have to choose your safety. Next, February of 2024. Here's a case where an Uber driver in the DC area was used to transport drugs unknowingly. The report also referenced a tragic incident in Arizona where a 22-year-old overdosed on fentanyl delivered via Uber Connect, leading to her death. The driver involved stated, "Unfortunately, I was the drug mule in that situation." How terrible. And there's more. In May of 2025, in Atlanta, Uber courier drivers were fearful they were being exploited for drug transport. One driver described a package that just smelled funny, and that led to suspicions of marijuana or worse. Another one recounted a late-night motel-to-motel delivery with a heavily taped box. So this is pretty concerning. Also, traffic stops revealed drugs in similar packages, prompting drivers to alert police. A related Yahoo article talks about the driver's dread, saying that they dropped off a suspicious grocery bag with quite a bit of dread. June of 2025, a magazine detailed how Uber's delivery platform has become a loophole for traffickers moving illicit pills, weapons, and cash anonymously across the U.S., and drivers often unaware until there's police involvement. So right now, drivers, please comment below and share what strange delivery experiences have you had that would make you suspicious of illegal activity. Please share that right now, and that way as all drivers read these, they're going to realize it's not just in the news, it's happening to you and I right now. Let's continue. Here's one in Australia, May of 2023. An Uber Eats driver refused a delivery because she suspected it contained crystal meth, turned it over to police, and received a 1-star review from the customer. And here's something that's interesting. She felt like she got basically no support from Uber Eats customer support. She only got generic responses and no compensation for the lost fare. And the local union there called for reform because Uber Eats would just deactivate drivers and obviously wasn't paying close attention to illegal activity. Just kicking someone off the platform isn't enough. There's also discussions on Reddit from May of 2023 showing drivers accusing Uber of facilitating drug runs by assigning suspicious orders without safeguard. One user stated they're sending drivers out as mules. Here's some incidents involving other apps, not just Uber Eats. So definitely while Uber is predominant in this, there's a lot of other cases. July of 2023, there's a Reddit thread where DoorDash drivers talked about being assigned added orders suspected to contain drugs. And they alluded that it's been going on for months, trying to ship guns and drugs. One user noted DoorDash has expanded into the drug market. In April 2020, Interpol, they put out the warning that drug dealers were using unnamed food delivery services, likely including apps like DoorDash or other things like that, to transport cocaine, ketamine, ecstasy, and marijuana. Drivers were unwitting drug mules with drugs hidden in backpacks or pizza boxes. And specific arrests, there were 7 in Spain for motorcycle deliveries that concealed cocaine, marijuana, 2 guns, and there was 8 kilograms of cocaine in pizza boxes in Ireland. And here's an interesting one. In Malaysia, a driver grew suspicious of a 24-pound flatbread order and called the police. Why are these kind of things still happening? It's because even this last week, Uber sent me this email, and it's got some pretty graphics, pretty innocent, just talking about customers. Just send packages to people. And if you go down in the fine print, down there under prohibited items and the terms and conditions, Uber even shares they're not responsible for any of these package deliveries. They don't even carry insurance for any aspect of that. So what you have to keep in mind is you as the driver, you're at risk. And early on, I mentioned those consequences of you could die, you could go to jail, you could be in poverty as you have mounting legal fees. This is terrifying. Our personal driver safety is most important. Don't be putting yourself in a dangerous situation. By now, you should realize if this has happened to other drivers over the years, and now Uber's pushing this even more, you're at risk. Uber Eats is not going to stand up for you. They're going to just say, hey, I was just part of the transaction. The driver was involved in this. So I think you can see now from these multiple examples in the news, and then go back and read the comments in this video, I think you're going to realize there is a huge risk out there. So what can you do about it? Don't accept package deliveries from the general public. That's the main thing you can do. I have done package deliveries, and we even made jokes about it. It was from a business. So I would say take package deliveries from businesses, not people from the general public, because you have no idea what they're sending. The example I have, there's actually a couple. I was going to some kind of pottery store, and they gave me a cardboard box, and there were a bunch of vials in there, and it looked like it had dirt or something. And the worker even joked, oh, don't worry, it's not drugs. And I said, oh, thank you, because I don't want to go to jail. And so they taped up the box, and I was comfortable, and I took it to wherever it needed to go. And that was a while ago. But there could have been something illegal in there. But I think from a reputable business, that's far less likely. And then also more recently, I did this really long distance package delivery down into Los Angeles on a Friday afternoon with all the wonderful traffic. This was obviously not illegal contraband. They were some signs in a box from a print shop, so that was a reputable business. I would say do these kind of package deliveries if they're profitable, but guaranteed, do not take any package delivery from any person. And I think if you do accept orders like this, depending on the pickup location and the day of time and what's going on, I think you're naturally going to know if something's suspicious or not. But I would just say it is never worth, like the one driver mentioned, $13. It is not worth risking all the bad things that can happen should these be some kind of contraband, anything crazy going on. You don't want to be a part of that. So where do we go from there with such a terrible topic? Do you think that package deliveries are the only way that criminals get involved with our livelihoods? Sadly, no. There is the huge threat of human trafficking. And I know we're food delivery drivers, but many of us also may be doing rideshare with Uber and Lyft. And I've got sad news for you. I've made a video covering the details of this human trafficking and how even from an innocent perspective, it can go wrong quickly when you're transporting minors. So watch that video next, and I'll see you there.